We reported the last 2 days first that the Minnesota Timberwolves were interested in Bones Hyland, and we talked about a deal of Naz Reid and Jalen Noel for Bones Hyland and Zeke Nanji. We'd assume that the Timberwolves would have to include whatever picks they have available, at least one or two of them in there, several second round picks, or I don't know if they even have a first to trade. But report is coming out from Chris Haynes and Mark Stein from their new podcast, hashtag This League Uncut. It's actually an iHeartMedia, you know, production, but it's actually pretty good. They posted 2 episodes. Go check it out. No free ads, but really, if you guys do enjoy good basketball coverage from two of the biggest insiders in the league and from Mark Stein and Chris B. Haynes, go check it out. But if you guys don't know, we talked about after the Timberwolves being interested in Bones Hyland, that a report came out that either from Mark Stein or Jake Fisher or even The Athletic that Bones Hyland is more than likely to be traded at the deadline, and that is because he has friction with Mike Malone and the Nuggets coaching staff as well as the front office. There's been clashes, and seemingly like they just want to move him out of this organization. And it might be a surprise because Hyland's an up and coming guy, which is why it's surprising. However, Hyland, as I aforementioned, has reportedly had friction with the Nuggets coaching staff with the second year guard as well, believing that he should have a bigger role. But the Nuggets coaching staff have concerns with Hyland's ability to hold up defensively. And one team reported that that the Nuggets were interested in him. The Wolves front office is led by Tim Conley, who drafted Hyland last year when he was leading the Nuggets basketball operation. There remains some bitterness from Denver towards Conley for how he left the Nuggets for the Wolves this past summer, so that really could be the holdup in the deal. Enter the Charlotte Hornets, who are now interested in Bones Hyland, and they're planning on moving on from some veterans, and they're looking to rebuild their team with younger players around LaMelo Ball. Which right there is interesting in its own right because if you look at the situation, Jalen McDaniels would be perfect for this Nuggets team, and Jalen McDaniels is expiring. So Bones Hyland this season is making 2.2 million. You throw in Zeke Nanje, that brings you guys who's making 2.6, which we would assume is the other player that would be traded in any package. And right there, you could even see if Devon Reed, but I think they like Devon Reed. But if you had to, he could be included there. Let's just go to Charlotte. So let's start off with Jalen McDaniels. Jalen McDaniels would be perfect. But you could even say send us Jalen McDaniels, Nick Richards, and that's where it gets difficult because the rest of the guys have bigger deals. So I really think a deal between Jalen McDaniels, Nick Richards, and for Bones Hyland straight up would I think could get the deal done. Maybe the Hornets attach a pick in there. But if you do Zeke Nanji, Bones Hyland, and Devon Reed, that's about $6.6 million. And Jalen McDaniels and either James Bouknight, who I think they would be fine moving on with the Hornets. But at the same time, if they want to go younger, I doubt it. So it would have to be like PJ Washington or Cody Martin. I think PJ Washington and Jalen McDaniels could get the deal done right there. Now, is that a deal that they want to do? It becomes a bit difficult to see because Bones Hyland definitely a guy that I think a lot of people are surprised is on the market, and the Hornets are one of the bottom teams, and I think getting a player like Bones Hyland would be huge for them. He's 2 more years on a smaller deal, so I do believe that if you could get a deal of listen to this. You could straight up trade PJ Washington and Jalen McDaniels for Bones Hyland, and it works. Like the Nuggets can do that. Now, my question is, what about if we do this deal? I think the best deal, you include Nick Richards in there, and and you do the Zeke Nanji. Where I feel like they want to keep Devon Reed. So for me, I think right here, yes, it's 3 expiring contracts, but if you do Zeke Nanji and Bones Hyland for PJ Washington, Jalen McDaniels, and Nick Richards, that is a good deal. Okay, that's a good deal. I don't even think that's that bad of a deal, and that's where I want to hear your guys' thoughts. Would you do this deal or? because you get two young guys, both who have deals, like extra years on their deals in Bones Highland and Zeke Nnaji. I honestly think that's a pretty darn good contract. And I don't know, it's an interesting situation for Bones Highland because I think a lot of people were hoping that he would be here for a while and develop into a co-star with Jamal Murray, but clearly that's not happening. So